Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 6, text number 14. Aho nuvamsho yashasavadataha Priyavrato yatra puman puranaha Kritavataraha purusha saadyas Chachara dharmam yada karma hetum. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Oh, what shall I say of the dynasty of Priyavrata, which is pure and very much celebrated. In that dynasty, the Supreme Person, the original personality of Godhead, descended as an incarnation and executed religious principles that could free one from the results of fruitive activity. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. There are many dynasties in human society wherein the Supreme Lord descends as an incarnation. Lord Krishna appeared in the Yadu dynasty. Lord Ramachandra appeared in the Ikshvaku or Raghu dynasty. Similarly, Lord Rishabhadeva appeared in the dynasty of King Priyavrata. All these dynasties are very famous, and of them, the dynasty of Priyavrata is most famous. So in this chapter called The Activities of Lord Rishabhadeva, we are seeing in these verses about summarization of the great qualities of Lord Rishabhadeva. And in this verse, particularly, the dynasty in which Lord Rishabhadeva appeared is being referred to. Aho nu vamsho yashasavadataha priyavrato yatra puman puranaha. Priyavrataha vamshaha. Priyavrata vamsha. Just like Krishna was born in Yadu dynasty, Yadu vamsha. And Ramachandra was born in Raghu Vamsha. So in the same way, Rishabhadeva was born in Priyavrata Vamsha, which was Yashasa, famous, Avadataha, pure. You will see this in our Vedic literatures, and it is in the Vedic culture, that people had a sense of, I belong to a certain dynasty, and the dynasty had these great virtues, and these dynasties had these great personalities, and hence I must be careful in my conduct. I represent and I respect the dynasty that I am coming in, and I don't bring a blemish to my dynasty. This sense, this consideration is always prominent. I come from a certain dynasty. I should be respectful. My character should be such that. So this sense is there in our culture, in Vedic culture, and I think it is there to some extent in our present society too. So, aho nu vamsho yashasavadhata Priyavrato yatra puman puranaha. Puranaha, puman, yatra. Krita Avataraha. He appeared in that dynasty. So, and who is this who appeared? Purana Purushaha. He is Adya Purushaha. Purushaha sa Adya. And what did he do? The Lord who appeared, Purana Purushaha, Purana Puman, and Adya Purushaha, Adi Purushaha, who appeared, Krita Avataraha. What did he do? Chachara Dharmam. He performed and practiced a certain dharmam, religious principles, yad akarma hetum, which was able to end fruitive activities. Karma, akarma, hetu, the cause. That dharma, religious principles, which would cause hetu, akarma, which would end fruitive activity, results of the fruitive activity, consequences of the fruitive activity, it would end. Akarma hetum, it would bring about akarma. And such a dharma he practiced. Oh, aho in Sanskrit, aho means oh, an exclamation. Nu, indeed. Aho, what shall I say? Oh, aho, nu, of the dynasty of Priyavrata Vamshaha, which is pure, avadhataha, and very much celebrated, yashasa. In that dynasty, yatra, the Supreme Person, Purana, Puman, the original personality of Godhead, Adi Purushaha, Adya Purushaha, descended as an incarnation, Krita Avataraha, and executed Chachara, religious principles, dharmam, that could free one from the results of fruitive activity. Akarma hetum dharmam chachara. And Srila Prabhupada has mentioned in the purport that how Lord Krishna appeared in a Yadu dynasty, Ramachandra appeared in Raghu dynasty, and in the same way Rishabhadeva appeared in the dynasty of Priyavrata. Actually, the Lord can come in any dynasty, but he chooses to come in a certain dynasty. Like, we have no such choice. I want to be born in so-and-so place. We have no force of karma determines where we are born. You see, we could have been born anywhere, but force of karma decided that we will be born in a certain manner, certain family. So this subject about being born in different dynasty, in Kunti's prayer also we find a mention of this one. Malayasyeva chandanam. Chandana can grow anywhere. Chandana is sandalwood. Can grow anywhere. But it grows in a certain place, Malaya hills. And so Malaya hills becomes famous. Malayasyeva chandanam. Prabhupada gives another example. Sun can rise in any direction, but sun rises in the eastern direction. Or we can say the convention, we have human convention, we have called it east. So eastern horizon becomes glorious because sun rises every day in that place, from that direction. So Kunti, in her prayers, which we all chant many times, Kechidahu rajam jatam punya shlokasya kirtaye. In one of the questions the sages of Naimisharanya asked, you see, it comes from there, the first chapter of the Bhagavatam, right? One of the questions the sages of Naimisharanya asked was, why does the Lord appear? The Lord appears, and especially appeared as Devakyam Vasudeva, as a son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Why did the Lord appear? This was one of the questions the sages had asked. And Sutta Goswami and Prabhupada says, these 6 questions that the sages of Naimisharanya asked becomes the subject matter of the Bhagavatam. Actually, if you carefully analyze, those 6 questions actually keep coming up again and again and again. And particularly, why did the Lord appear as son of Vasudeva and Devaki, Krishna? Why did he appear as Krishna? That is going to be revealed in the Bhagavatam. It's going to be revealed towards the end of the Bhagavatam in the 10th canto to tell about how the Lord appears as a simple cowherd boy, casting off all his Aishwarya symbols. You see, usually the Lord appears with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, weapons, Ayudha. But he comes with a bamboo flute. No weapon at all. He comes with Kirita and different Abharana. Here he comes with just a peacock feather. See, very, very simple, casual. So, why did he appear in that form? That's one of the... So, it appears as superficially, why did the Lord appear? Why does the Lord appear? Right? But actually it's very profound. Why did the Lord appear as Krishna, as son of Devaki and Vasudeva? So, there are certain nuances. So, this subject, why does the Lord appear? Kunti's prayers have become part of the Bhagavatam because Kunti also discusses why the Lord appears. And if you see, beginning with this verse, Kechidahu rajam jatam punya shlokasya kirtaye. Beginning with that, there are about 3 or 4 verses, and Kunti Devi says, some say Kechidahu, ahuhu, say, Kechit, some say. And after that she gives many other reasons. Some say apare vasudevasya, others say this way. Yet others say this is the reason why the Lord appeared. So analysis of the reasons why the Lord appears is being done in Kunti's prayers. And that was one of the questions the sages had asked. That's one of the topics of discussion. So now here, this appearance of the Lord itself is very enigmatic. Vidambanam. That's how Kunti Maharani begins. This is bewildering, Krishna. Why is it bewildering? She explains in this verse. Kechidahurajam jatam. You see, Kunti Maharani is using the 2 words. Ajam, jatam. These are opposites. Ajam means one who is not born. Kechidahur ajam jatam. The one who is unborn takes birth. You see the contradiction? Somebody who is unborn takes birth. That's why it is Vidambanam. Kechidahur ajam jatam punya shlokasya kirtaye. So, Kechidahu, some people say the unborn Lord takes birth. For what? Punya shlokasya kirtaye. In order to glorify, in order to kirtaye, to glorify. Whom? Punya shlokasya kirtaye. Of those who are already glorified because of their virtues. Punya shloka. See the word punya shloka. This is how Srila Prabhupada points out how we read the Vedic literatures. There is an art. Punya shloka can mean Krishna himself, one who is glorified with virtuous prayers. Punya shloka. Punya means pure, virtuous, blemishless. Punya shlokasya. Shloka is glorification. Punya shloka, who is glorified with wonderful, pure, transcendental glorification. That's referring to Krishna. It can also refer to the devotees of Krishna. In this verse, it is referring to Krishna's devotees. Punya shlokasya kirtaye. Who are these punya shlokasya? Yadu dynasty, they were all great kings. In order to glorify that dynasty, the Lord appeared there. Yado priya anvavaye. Anvavaye, the lineage, the dynasty. Yado priya anvavaye priyaha. Yado, who was very dear to the Lord, he appeared in the Yadu dynasty. Some people say, in order to glorify that dynasty, just like Malayasya iva Chandanam. Just like Chandana appeared in the Malaya hills. So that is the reference that is being given by Kunti Devi. Just Chandana could have appeared anywhere, but it appeared in Malaya hills, and because of that, Malaya hills became glorified, because Chandan appears there. You see? So, in the same way, the Lord, who never takes birth, appeared in the dynasty of Yadu dynasty, in the dynasty of Yadus, who are all great devotees, in order to glorify that dynasty. Or that dynasty became glorified because of the Lord's appearance. Sun rises in the east, east becomes glorified. Or sun rises in the east, eastern direction has become glorified because sun rises there. So that's the kind of an understanding. So, ahonu vamsho yashasa avadhataha. This vamsha, Priyavrata vamsha avadhataha, was a pure, Priyavrata was a great personality. In that vamsha, Krita avataraha purusha saadhyaha. Adi purusha krita avataraha. The next important point that is mentioned in this verse, chachara dharmam yadakarma hetum. He taught, he performed certain religious principles. He taught some religious principles which can end karma, meaning reactions of fruitive activities. So this is yet another important consideration in Vedic culture about our karma and how to end our karma. As we all talk, there's a big 45-day Kumbh Mela happening and 400 million people going there. Why? This idea that we should end our karma. Go and take a dip. You'll be washed of all the karmas. You see how strong this understanding is? How strongly embedded it is in the culture, in the Vedic culture? Because we are concerned, because of our past karmas, we are being born again and again. Of course, there is a karma kanda understanding of that, so that I can purify all my papa, so that I'll have good enjoyment in this life. You see, that's also one kind of a consideration. It's understandable. that's the large number of population would want to do that. But as devotees, we want to end our papa, punya, everything, because that is the state when we are free from all papa. Esham tva antagatam papam jananam punya karmana te dvandva moha nirmuktha bhajate mam drudhavrataha. So we are interested in ending karma because one has to end all papa karma, and in that state we can become firmly situated in drudhavrataha, bhajate mam drudhavrata, so that we can worship Krishna with drudhavrata, with firm determination. That's our motivation, why we would like to end all papa karma. But anyway, in general, there is this understanding, akarma hetum. How can we end this reactions of our past activities which has accumulated over many, many births? It is so, I was hearing somebody tell this, some kind of a humorous thing. One Muslim, within a Muslim family, they were discussing. They were having some trouble. And they say, and one Muslim person was telling another Muslim, all these problems, all our bad karma, we are suffering because of that. See, this bad karma you can say is a Hindu idea. But it is so pervasive, even Muslims, when they talk, Indian Muslims, I mean, they will think that, it's my bad karma, I am suffering. Like that. So, this understanding that karma brings suffering, and hence we must find a way to end it, is a strong value and understanding in the Vedic culture. So, Rishabhadeva came, chachara dharmam yada karma hetum. Now, let us see in the Bhagavad Gita, probably this is the first, I've not done careful study. So, the first time Krishna talks about akarma or freedom from karmic reaction is in the 3rd chapter of the Gita, 4th verse. Na karmanam anarambhan naishkarmyam purushoshnute. Naishkarmyam. Naishkarma. Naishkarma. Naishkarmya. That state of naishkarmyam purusha ashnute. Krishna brings up this idea. Na karmanam anarambhan naishkarmyam purushoshnute. So, Krishna is saying, karmanam anarambhan. Arambhan, anarambhan. What? Non-performance or non-beginning. You can use your both senses there, arambha, anarambha. Karmanam anarambhan. Simply if I don't perform work, na naishkarmyam ashnute. You will not become free from reactions. This is what Krishna is saying. If you think that if I perform work, it will bring reaction, so I should stop all work, and when I stop all work, there won't be reaction. Krishna is saying, refuting that proposition. Karmanam anarambhan na naishkarmyam ashnute. Naishkarmyam ashnute. That freedom from reaction will come about. Na naishkarmyam ashnute will not come about. Will not achieve. Ashnute, achieve. You will not achieve simply by karmanam anarambhan. Simply by not performing activity. So, why is Krishna stating this? It's always interesting to study Bhagavad Gita in context. So, why is Krishna telling this? that Arjuna, simply by abstaining from work, I'll read the translation. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction. There's one more part of it. I won't go into it because it'll get delayed. So Krishna is talking about achieving freedom from reaction, and he is saying merely abstaining from work. Not by merely abstaining from work. Karmanam anarambhan na naishkarimyam ashnute. One can achieve. So why did Krishna bring up this topic? This is in the very beginning of the 3rd chapter of the Gita. So because Arjuna asked a question, the very first question, the 3rd chapter begins with Arjuna Uvacha. Arjuna asked the question, Arjuna Uvacha, Jayasi chet karmanaste matha buddhir janardhana. Arjuna is saying, Jayasi is glorifying. Jayasi, that's why we say Jai, to glorify. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jayasi chet karmanaste matha buddhir janardhana. So, matha, Krishna, your opinion is, karmanaha buddhi jayasi. Te mata. This is your opinion, Krishna. Krishna, you said your opinion is buddhi karmanaha buddhi jayasi. Better than work is intelligence. That's a simple translation. We will read that a little bit more carefully. Jayasi chet karmanaha buddhi jayasi. Te matha chet. If this is your opinion, so Arjuna is rephrasing. Krishna, you said buddhi is better. Actually, here let's see how Prabhupada translates. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshava, if you think intelligence is better than fruitive work, karmanaha buddhihi jayasi te mata. If that's your opinion, Arjuna's second part of the shloka, he's asking the question, tat kim karmani gore mam niyojayasi Keshava. If buddhi or transcendental intelligence or purified intelligence is better than activity, kim ghore karmani mam niyojayasi Keshava. Why are you asking me to take part in this ghastly warfare? Ghore karmani. This is it involves killing. It involves killing my grandfather, killing my teacher, killing all my cousins. This is ghastly. Ghore karmani. Kim niyojayasi. Why are you engaging me? If better I do something about intelligence, not work. You see Arjuna's question? So I'll read the translation. Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you urge me to engage in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? So I should be doing some intelligence refinement thing rather than to engage in this ghastly warfare. Why are you asking me to do this? If you think intelligence is buddhir jayas karmana buddhi jayasi te mata, that's your opinion. Kim ghore karmani mam niyojayasi. Why are you urging me to take part in this battle? And in the next, we'll read the next verse and go back to this. Let's little more interesting analysis is there. Next verse, Arjuna asks another important thing. In this way, vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohyayasiva me. First you talked about karma, activity is important. Then you said buddhi, refinement of intelligence, purification of intelligence, that's important. Later on you said no, buddhi is important, not activity. Vyamishreneva vakyena. In this way, sometimes you are saying this, sometimes you are saying this. This is called vyamishreneva vakyena. Mohayasi me buddhim mohayasi. My intelligence has become bewildered. Krishna, you are speaking like this, sometimes you are speaking like that. Buddhi mohayasiva me. Hence, what is Arjuna's ask? Very interesting. Tad ekam vada nischitya yena shreyohum apnuyam. So tell me one thing, Krishna. Don't tell me this way, don't tell me that way. So many things you are telling me. Am I getting confused? Tad ekam vada. Tell me one thing. And tell me one thing, nischitya, decisively. Again, don't tell me one thing, maybe this is okay, that's also okay. Again, mohayasiva me, buddhi mohayasiva me. My buddhi will become filled with moha, confusion. Tadekam vada nischitya. That is why Bhagavad Gita is very, very special. Again and again, Arjuna brings up this point, nischitya. Bruhitan yat shreya syan nishchitam bruhitan me. There also he asked, Shreya nishchitya bruhitan me. Don't give me vague answers, Krishna. Give me definitively. Bhagavad Gita, definitively. Nischitya ekam vada. Tell me one thing that I should do. Because that's how Vedic literatures are. Different opinions are there of different sages. Multiple ideas are there. Tell me what I should do. Tell me one thing. You see, this is Arjuna's particular specific question. Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyohum apnuyam. By which I will have shreya. Shreyaha apnuyam. Shreya will come about for me. Shreya will come about, not preya. Long term, clear, good for me. Not some short term benefit for me. So this was the thing. Now, let's analyze the next question. Where did Krishna say, because Arjuna is beginning, the first verse, coming back to the first verse. Jayasi chet karmanaste matha buddhir janardhana. Where did Krishna say, buddhi is better than karma? You see, where did Krishna glorify? We must refer to the previous chapter, right? And previous chapter, towards the end, we know it is all about sthita pragnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava. Krishna is answering that question about sthita prajna, fixed intelligence. So how did this fixed intelligence come about in the discussion? That comes about in the verse 253. This 253 is the last thing that Krishna spoke. After that, Arjuna asked the question, Sthita Pragnasya ka bhasha. Because Krishna referred to something about Sthita Prajna. You see, this continuity is something that we should look for better and better understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Suppose I'm telling you about something about the price of mango. Then you will ask me a question, which mango you're talking about? The price of which, something like this. Because I spoke about mango, you will ask me a question about mangoes. You will not ask me a question about gold. I'm telling you something about mangoes and you are asking about gold. There will be some connection, right? So, Arjuna has asked the question, Sthita pragnasya ka bhasha samadhisthasya keshava stitadhi kim prabhasheta kim asita pracheta kim. Arjuna is asking about one subject. He has used three expressions: sthita prajna, samadhistha, and sthitadhi. Three expressions Arjuna has used. Sthita prajna, his prajna is sthita, consciousness is fixed. Samadhistha, and he is situated in samadhi. And sthitadhi, dhi is intelligence. Intelligence is sthita, fixed. And such a person, what are his symptoms? What is his language? How does he walk? How does he sit? This is Arjuna's question. For Arjuna to ask this question, what was the trigger? Arjuna is asking about mango. What did Krishna tell about mango? That's what we should analyze, right? So let's see the verse before that, where Krishna is saying, Shruti vipratipanna te yadha sthasyati nischala samadhau achala buddhis tadha yogam avapsyasi. See, buddhi is coming here. Shruti vipratipanna te. Vipratipanna. Shruti vipratipanna te. Vipratipanna, without being influenced by the fruitive results of the Vedas. Shruti vipratipanna te yadha sthasyati nischala. So, nischala sthasyati. You're unmoved. You're situated, unmoved. Unmoved by what? Shruti vipratipanna. Because Shruti, Vedic literatures offer you many, many material benefits. You are unmoved by that. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas. Vedas say, you do this, you go to Kumbh Mela, you do this, all your problems will be solved, diseases will go away, you will have much wealth, you will have profit, you will have success in your business, you will win in the election. We should go to Kumbh Mela. You see, this is Shruti Vipratipanna. Shruti has mentioned this. Going to a holy place, taking a dip in a holy river, doing this vrata. Because of that, you will get all these benefits. It is recommended, it is mentioned. But now, you have elevated your consciousness to a certain state where Shruti Vipratipanna te sthasyati nischala. You are not disturbed by that. And you are fixed in samadhau achala buddhis tadha yogam avapsyasi. And your samadhau achala samadhi. You are fixed in yoga. You are fixed in your intelligence. Then yogam avapsyasi. In that state, now I'll read the translation. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in trance, samadhau achala sthitaha sthasyati, fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Yogam avapsyasi. Yoga is divine consciousness. So Krishna came to that statement, that part of his discussion, that when you are no more disturbed by the flowery words of the Vedas, and you are fixed in your intelligence, and at that state, you will achieve yoga, divine consciousness. So that made Arjuna ask the question, Sthitas pragnasya ka bhasha. You said that somebody is fixed in intelligence, no? What is the symptom of that person who is fixed in intelligence? How does he walk? How does he sit? What is his language? What does he speak? After having done all that, now again, Arjuna comes back to the question. You said, Buddhi nischalaha sthasyati, nischala sthasyati. If you are saying that state of fixed intelligence, that is greater, that is important than karma, why are you urging me to fight? You see the question? You see how Krishna Arjuna is bringing this one? And so Krishna explains very soon after saying these things. We have limited time. And Krishna comes to this important question, 3.6, 3.7, 8, 9. And that is, Yagnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanghas samachara. Yagnarthat karmanaha. You should act for yagna, or your actions should be an act of sacrifice. Anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Otherwise, it will bind you to karma. So, what bind? Action does not bind. What is the intention behind that action that binds or liberates? If you act for Krishna, for Yagna, for Vishnu, it will not bind. Anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Tadartham karma samachara. Hence, for his sake, for his purpose, you must act. That's the principle Krishna is saying. For his sake, for Vishnu's sake, you must act. Then it will not bind you. Tadartham karma kaunteya. And you must also act with mukta sangaha. You must act for him without attachment to results. Then you are properly situated. That's the point that Krishna is going to elaborate in the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, in other words, a karma hetum, how one can become freed from the reactions of our past activities, how one can be free from reactions of our present activities, this is an important consideration. Rishabhadeva came to teach that. That is how this verse is describing about the greatness of Rishabhadeva appearing in Priyavrata Vamsha, which is famous and pure, and the Lord appeared and he taught the religious principles by which one can become freed from the results of fruitive activity. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.